So, as I was saying, I picked interest in the issue of gender equality, not because it's a popular social thing. In fact, when I began to recognize some of the issues addressed by the popular gender equality SDG right now, was when I was younger. We'd wake up as early as around 5:30, and our parents are already gone. Most times, they would live together. Other times, we'll see our mom just making final arrangements after she might have prepared breakfast. And within some minutes, she's gone. So we grew up with that idea of a man and a woman making joint efforts for the family, being equally represented in the affairs of the home. So the issue of gender equality is not new to me. So building on that, the issue of gender equality became a personal concern because of this, and also fundamentally because God Himself established a solution to that issue of gender equality. Now I'm surprised at how we deviated from that. This is not me preaching God. God does not need to be preached. I mean, everything in this planet Earth alone speaks of God. I wonder if anybody still needs to preach God. If there's anything we need to preach now, it is love of self, being responsible, being accommodating, respecting humanity. I don't think we need to preach God again in this world. But God says something in the history of creation. He said, "Let us make man in our image." And down the line, the Bible records, and in the image of God created He him. Male and female created He them. And then God blessed them to be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth. Them, both the male and the female, be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth. Equal blessing, equal image of God in both of them. So an aspect of gender equality is already established here. Not all aspects, because eventually, when God created human, He first of all, according to the Bible, He first of all created man. A man participated with God to an extent in naming the animals, and eventually, after having named all of them, God was observing man. Man did not find in any of them any species worthy to be his companion. And then God put man to sleep and created the woman. That means man by himself recognized that he is doomed in this world without a woman. Despite the blessing of being fruitful, multiplying, and subduing the earth, the most fundamental fuel, which is internal motivation, the conviction that I'm complete to do that work, that I'm complete to carry on that blessing, was lacking in man because he was alone. He didn't have the woman. And when the woman came into the picture, that was when the blessing peaked and they became truly fruitful, began to multiply, began to subdue the earth. Both gender may be equal in representation. They may have and deserve equal share of dignity, but then their roles differ. And as much as those roles differ, their specialization in the roles will be different. For instance, come to a family where the man and the wife are working hard. They are both the breadwinner for the home. Then 7-8 months down the line, the lady is pregnant, heavily pregnant, so she needs to stop working. At that point, her body naturally, because she is female, is well suited to carry baby, give birth, nurture the baby. While the male's body, because he does not have to concern himself with giving birth, has to carry on with the other aspects of running the home, that is, providing resources, protecting the occupants of the home, and ensuring everybody is healthy and happy. You understand? So at this point, naturally, the roles have identified what a female can do that a male can, and then also identify what a male should be doing at that point where he can't do what a female is doing. And over time, males have taken it upon themselves to just zero their mind that they are the ones winning the bread. Because a lady that goes into labor is not just going into labor to give birth to a baby and run back to the field. We are not like animals. There are some animals that can do that. Humans are not like animals. A lady that gives birth needs time to nurture the baby, needs time to heal herself, needs time to get emotionally and psychologically prepared to raise this child to be a proper human being that integrates well into the society. There's a lot of work that goes into that. And by the time a lady gives birth, her attention at work is no longer as it used to be before because it's now divided. She now has to run the work, run the home, and still care for the child. Because a female's body is better adapted to bear a child and give birth eventually, there are other things that follow: the nurture, the care, and then the distribution of some genetics, whereby males have more testosterone naturally, females have more estrogen, and the testosterone makes the male more aggressive, which makes them better suited to be the ones protecting the home, protecting the community, society. Over time, these differences led to certain specializations that made each gender become better at what they do than if the other gender came in. Understand? So women over time became better at nurturing the children, creating and maintaining safe space for emotional healing, emotional growth, spiritual maturity, and all the awesomeness they create in a home. Understand? You would agree with me that a home where the presence of a mother is lacking, it does not just affect the kids in that home, it also affects the man. Because that man, with all his testosterone and aggressiveness out there, which most people are actually putting under control, but still exists, by the time they get home, they are burned out. There are a lot of things that even if they didn't fight anybody, there are a lot of issues that have come to their mind, and the aggressiveness overfired, and the emotional regulation was a lot of work. So by the time they get home, they need that safe space to feel welcome, relax. And when the wife is not there, you find out that that safe space is not just the four walls of your room or all the modifications you put in there for comfort. It is the presence of the human who carries something beyond science that makes you feel the other dimension of comfort, of peace that you don't get from anything else. You understand?